Hi guys. One of the comments I've been getting since I started making those videos was that I was using. Some people were almost offended that I was using a Marvel character to do those videos. So I figured I may as well create a DC character and start doing videos with DC character as well. I was always planning to. I was planning that to do that maybe down the line. So I made that a little faster than I was expecting to. Also have I already have DC characters that are created, but again, like the Wolverine, I wanted to make a character from scratch so that we can start going through the leveling process with this character. With this character, and essentially, you're going to be able to see the difference, the distinction between a character that uses flying as opposed to a character that uses acrobat. You'll see there's quite a difference. Um, I was about to make I did a few attempt with this character already. I would the logical thing normally would have been to make it a magic character, but I have another character in mind that I'll use for the magic mentor. Essentially, I'll probably make a one character for each mentor, and I'll try to go through also as many different powers and different weapons as I can. I'm sure I won't cover all of them, but I'll cover as many of them as I can. So essentially, in this case, I created uh, as close as to Captain Marvel, or as he's called now, Shazam, as possible. Um, I'll probably once I'm in the game, I'll probably take out the hood and the emissive eyes. But basically, this is what the character will look like at least for a while. I'll probably upgrade the look a bit later down the line. So let's go with the tricky part, which is the name. But luckily for you guys, I went through quite a few names already, so I know which one is available. And here we go. We're going to skip the movies, the cinematics. Although I wanted to showcase the cinematics and show them off because they're really nice and they're a really nice part of this game. It's one of of the few things that make DC Universe Online stand out from other games. The cinematics were are something you don't see much in other games. Other games tried to do somewhat similar things, but I thought this universe had done a good job at putting their own spin on those with their cinematics. So that will be one of the main different distinction. Also, flying. No other games captured flying the way DC Universe did, and although the normally Captain Marvel or Shazam would be a brawler. I took Hand Blast for his weapon because you can, even though Hand Blast technically is a range weapon, you can brawl pretty well with it. Also, one thing I will do is that I'll take off the hood right now. No hood, and the face, no emissary eyes. That'll be a bit better. Okay, when I'm going to enter this room, you will see very quickly like a red skull with a description. Oh, there it is. So essentially, it tells us that the skull with the red icon is indicating that the enemy will make a heavy attack or a special attack. The first time it, for the longest time, I never saw that warning or that tip, that hint. It would flash by the screen so quickly that it's only recently that I really noticed it, and I said, "Holy crap! There is a." there is a warning telling us what the red skull thingy does. Because for the longest time, I've been playing this game for like 4 years, and for the longest time, I had no idea what that skull was. I suspected that it was supposed to be something bad, but I didn't really know what it was, and I had no idea that you actually were told what it was in this little cinematic. See, here it goes again. But there's a few times when I did this mission where the that warning flashes once and that's it, and you never see it again. And I remember there was one time when it flashed so quickly. I was like, did I dream this or did I see something? So one of the things I'm going to do, I'm going to lock my styles. If you see in your styles, there's a little thingy that says lock all. I'm going to use this because if you don't lock your style, here's what's going to happen. As soon as you get a new piece of gear, like I've got a new pair of gloves, like you can see the gloves I have right now, but as soon as I'm going to equip those gloves, as you see, the gloves are now, I've changed to the gloves I just equipped. So essentially, if you do not lock your styles, what will happen is that whenever you add a new piece of gear, your look will change according to that gear. So in order to prevent that, well, unless if you want that to happen, that's fine. No one forces you to lock the styles. But if you want to keep the look of your character consistent, you pretty much have to lock your style. And as you saw, as I clicked on lock all those little locks are locked now. And now I can go to my hands. I can go to banded and get it back. So in the past, it could have been useful not to lock the styles, so you would know which piece of gear you have equipped. But nowadays we have armories for that, so we can switch gear very easily. It's just that in the past, sometimes you would remember that holy crap, I have my PVE gear and I'm being attacked by players and I need my PvP gear. So if you don't lock your styles and you actually see the style that you're wearing, then yeah, it was a visual clue that could have been helpful. But nowadays we have armories, so it's not really useful. And as you can see, I can fly around very smoothly and very easily. Something I couldn't really do all that much as a well, you can't really do at all as an acrobat. Although you do have some gliding abilities, but they're fairly limited, especially indoor. So if there was a like an exobit, like in the corner or something, it would be fairly difficult to get it with an acrobat. But with a flyer, you just go smoothly and go up in the air and go get whatever is there. So I would suggest for your very first character, use a flying character. You'll make your life so much simpler. There's a variation of flying that's called skimming. I'd go for that as well. So essentially, we're going to use the so I've for this character I've used as I mentioned End Blast, and I've used the electric power. Essentially, also I wanted to have a healer that I'm going to be able to use to show you how healing works down the line. So and for the power, you have the choice between voltage and amperage. So we're going to start with voltage in this case. And also, what I usually end up doing, it's a personal preference. It's not something like I'm saying that you have to do this. But I much prefer it usually to put what I consider ranged attacks on the triangle button. So essentially on the triangle button, I'll put the range attacks. On the square buttons, I'll put some defensive powers. On the round button, I'll put some the supercharge. That's usually where I put it. And on the X will be a case by case basis. It depends on what power I use and what ability I feel should go there better. So essentially, as you can see, that's the power I used. So it's kind of like a ranged power. And as always, like as you saw when I use it, there's that red little starburst in the corner under my name, which means that I'm going to be making 35% more damage with my attacks. So here's I'm going to equip the chest piece, and as you see, I locked my style, so my characters doesn't change. Also, one thing also that you can do as you get more colas, you don't need to manually take the colas and put them on top of your already equipped stack. If you just want to equip more colas to your stack, you just click on it, and as you saw, it equipped itself. It's something that you can do early on, but eventually, once you start having the utility belt, that's going to mess things up because sometimes, essentially, when you're going to click on the cola, instead of putting it here, it could put it in one of those slots instead. So in the long run, you can it makes it fairly easier to equip colas. In the short run, it makes it easier to equip colas, but in the long run, you'll probably have to do it manually, sadly. Unless you're one of the lucky few and manage to get a utility belt that only has trinkets, then you're going to be able to keep on doing that. So you start with your lightning attack, and then it gives you your 35% extra damage. And also the lightning itself does damage as well. So it's not just a matter of wanting to get the 35% extra damage. Although it's a nice bonus, the lightning itself is also good. Again, we start with the lightning, trigger 35% extra damage, and we go through these little robots fairly quickly. And as you can see, as I said, even though it's I'm using the hand blaster weapon, you can brawl pretty well. So even though technically it's a range weapon, in close range, in close quarter, it does a good job still. So again, we got some new colas. We just click on it and it equips itself. And we're going to equip our boots. And again, since we locked our styles, we won't change. Our style won't change. But unless we want to, if we go back into our styles and go, let's say, to the boots, let's see what the boots look like. So you can see that's the new boots we just got. If we wanted to, we could equip it right now. We'll stick with what we already have. So as you can see, it's pretty much smooth sailing, so to speak, when you're flying. So let's start with our lightning attack. I could probably break a few barrels to try to get the feat requiring you to break red barrels. I'll refrain from that. I'll try not to be in here for too long. So again, as you start your attack, always go with the with using a power first. Here we have the little guys who will show us how to use the mechanics, like the counter, the interrupt, and the block. So essentially, these little guys, They're going to lunge us, and they're protected with a force field. So as long as we don't block them, they're going to keep that force field. So we have to block them first, and then once the force field is gone, we can. Here we have to interrupt them. So essentially, we hold the square button so that we jump toward them as they're doing their attack, and we're going to interrupt them. And this little bugger is going to block, and we're going to block break it by holding the triangle button. Otherwise, we would not be able to damage it. That mechanic never really comes back. This is just to show you how to block, how to interrupt, and how to block break. So in order to be able to defeat those three guys, you have to block them, to block break them, and to interrupt them. That's the only way to get past them. So we're going to, at this point, we can't really put any skill points in flight yet. We're going to have to wait until we're level 9. So we have little choice but to put our points in Hand Blaster. So essentially right now all we can do is put our point in Meteor Blast. There we go. And as you can see, the first combo we have, it gives us essentially two combos. So it gives us the hold with the square or the hold with the triangle. So that's what we've been using, like the hold with the square. Essentially, the hold with the square is the interrupt. So whenever a NPC can be interrupted, you hold the square and you're going to be interrupting them. And holding the triangle, oh, here we go. Holding the triangle is the block breaker, like this. And the power we just purchased, essentially, if we hold the triangle twice, there's what happens. Like that, there is our Meteor Blast. So we're going to continue. We need to grab our friend the barrel over here and break it here. And then again, we start with our lightning. And again, as you can see, like the little guy is jumping in the air, throwing his ball, his energy ball, and damaging them evil robots. Oh yeah. So there's a few health barrel we can break here. And now let's get down to business with this little guy over here. Oh, we missed one. Let's get... There we go. So we can break this one here. So don't ever hesitate to break a barrel. Of course, the exploding one, you break them from afar. But the health barrel, there's no reason not to destroy them, to break them. I think the top feed for the barrels is like 1,000 barrels. So it'll take a while, so you may as well break all the barrels you see. So again, Brainiac will do his evil attack. So blocking should help us resist it. In short, when you see an NPC that will have that red skull thingy and that will want to attack you, the move basically is to hold the block button, the R1 button. So when he does his attack and you're blocking, there he goes. You're going to be able to resist his attack. Also, the R1 button is also what you'll use to break out. So let's see if our little friend here, he should knock us down. And then by holding the R1 button, we get back up. We break out and we get back up. And we can even hold it to be in the block position. And we got a new piece of gear. a little belt. Let's equip that. And again, we have one more cola, so we just click the cola, and it goes back to our cola stack. So essentially, we're going to be able to do that until we have 12 colas. Once our stack is full with 12 colas, if we click on another cola, what will happen is that that one cola will replace our stack. I'll try to provide an example when it happens. So essentially here we have to destroy those yellow thingy. So let's get to it and let's destroy them. And of course there's those evil robots that are trying to prevent us from doing that. You know how it is. You try to destroy yellow thingies and then evil robots try to stop you. So now we should have our first mini boss, which is this little guy over here. So ideally, always try to keep your 35% going, like that the little green starburst. Try to cast one power every I don't know 5 or 10 seconds. No, here he's trying to heal himself. Let's try to prevent him from doing that. We should be fine. Oh yeah. So as much as possible, if you can always keep the green starburst underneath your name, it means that you'll always have you always will have that like in this case it's 35%, but it's going to go up to 60% depending on the power you use or depending like certain mods will allow you to get 60% extra damage. So let's break that little barrel and let's get started to stop those evil robots. And of course, we have our first Captain Marvel Superman team up. Yeah, I know that the name now is SHAZAM. But what can I say? I guess I'm an old-fashioned kind of guy. So for me, he's still Captain Marvel. So as you see, I keep that green starburst going. So you have to be a bit careful so that you don't end up emptying your power bar, your blue bar.
Nice work. Brainiac wasn't counting on you breaking free and disabling his ship. Now use the teleporter and get yourself back to the city. We've got work to do.
Yes, it's done. Superman will finish here. Use the teleporters to escape. Go!
So let's escape. And we're going to skip the movie because I couldn't figure out yet how to be able to get the sound of those movies. I'd love to be able to showcase those cinematics. I just haven't figured out why yet. I'll have to experiment a bit more.
Now that you're off the ship, I'm Oracle. You've just teleported into the MPD's 3rd Precinct Station, one of the many Justice League safe houses we keep in Gotham and Metropolis.
So essentially, we're going to sell whatever
Contacts for missions,
junk we got in the ship. And we're going to repair our gear. And at this point, we don't have pants, and we don't have a mask yet. So let's use those.
vendors are where you go to repair
So let's put our pants on
or sell
and our mask on. There we go.
Some of the vendors sell unique
And as you can see, we got mail. Underneath our minimap, there's this little envelope saying that we got mail. So let's go see what Oracle gave us. She gave us a little mask, and she's sweet. So we're going to equip this, and there we go.
Your PvP and alert holograms.
And we should be able to
Go ahead.
complete our... Oh,
Let me
not
show
yet.
you something. Then find Protostar Blakely.
So let's go find
That's what you're
Protostar
supposed to do.
and talk to him.
Gorilla Grodd is attacking the Queensland
And
border.
now we can complete the
His
mission.
army is
As you
deployed
can see,
to
save the
seize
world. We can complete it.
some kind of tech. Even
Shazam. There it
so
goes.
that's what we need to help us with the situation.
And also you can see we have also another objective that's completed. Essentially, this is a Batman skin, well, a Batman character for Legends PvP or PvE. Essentially, it's a legend character that we're going to be able to use. Every member who's legendary gets that character, which is essentially a modern version. What is called the modern Batman. It's an exobyte data with Batman. So we completed it. So it gave us the exobyte in our inventory. So let's consume it, and there we have it. So now if we go, let's say, onto the on duty menu, oh, we can't do it. Oh, that's so sad. And we can't do legends yet. Okay, so I can't show it to you yet, but at some point I'll show it to you. And right now we should have, oh yeah, we have the Booster Gold mission. Essentially, these are missions that Booster Gold gives us that will allow us to explore either Metropolis or Gotham. Also, let's go and do that. And as you can see, flying is much smoother than Acrobat. Oh, and I got a blind invite. I'm going to cancel it. I'm planning to get into my own league later. Well, it's always nice when people try to invite you.
We tried to stop Grodd's guerrillas at the Queensland boardwalk, but they're using tech even Star Labs hasn't seen in action before. See what you can do about shutting this down.
We're going to do the Booster Gold mission first, just to show how smooth and sweet it is to just fly around, no care in the world. I'm not sure why we have a player that seems to be in PvP mode though. Well, it happens. So essentially, the Booster Gold missions pretty simple. You have to go to one kiosk, use the kiosk. The kiosk tells you a little story about the area, about the Queensland boardwalk. But now it's overrun by gorillas. Oh, it's not here. Sorry, I got distracted for a second. Oh, investigation. Let's pick it up. That is strange. We have a player who seems to be in PvP mode. So let's use our kiosk. Oh, an exhibit. Sometimes you'll spot things that you didn't spot before with the kiosk. Let's go get that exhibit before someone else does. Oh yeah. And now we have to go visit another kiosk. So let's go. Oh, and we got two exhibits. That is sweet when that happens. Eons ago, it would almost practically never happen. It was like a once in a blue moon event. But now it seems to happen more and more, which I won't complain about. The more exhibits we can get, the better. Especially considering that like Type 7 mods require like 21 exhibit, which means a lot of exobytes. So we completed the booster gold mission. So we're going to go back to the booster gold kiosk to finish the mission. There we go. So we're going to complete it. Oh, we gained one more level, so we can take the next booster gold mission right away. We probably could do it right away, but usually what I do is that I wait until I have I think it's supersonic. The name escapes me right now. Usually I wait until oh yeah, that's supersonic. I thought I was mistaking it with the speed movement mode. So essentially, I usually wait until I get the supersonic before doing the booster gold kiosk. That way, I can do them just a bit more quickly. And as the power, let's go select our second power. So there's nothing saying we could come in and start taking powers in this tree, but I'll continue taking powers in the voltage tree. So what do we have here? We have a power called the bioelectric surge. So essentially, it's going to increase our damage by 35%, and it has some power interaction. But the power interaction, I think, is only for. Is it for? Oh no, okay. There is some power interaction, and also essentially it heals yourself and it heals the most injured member of your crew of your group. So it's a good heal for two people, or at least yourself and one person. There's an attack buff, which essentially me and three other people would have extra electricity damage in our weapons. So, and also there's some power interactions like where each hit has a chance to electrify enemies. And there's this little one here, Electro Burst, which okay, which essentially blasts a wave of electricity around your character, and it will pretty much how can I say that? It will knock down the targets around you, and also it will add not an aura, but it will cause some damage over time. And if you were a healer, the 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 electricity in the enemies would heal your allies. So it's not a bad ability to have. Ideally, I would like to have electrogenesis, but let's go with shockwave, voltaic bolt. Well, let's go with the electro burst. So I will put the electro burst. and my score button here. So just as an example, that's what it does. So whatever enemies are around you will be stunned a bit or knocked down a bit. So it's pretty good. It's a pretty good ability for when you get overrun by enemies, which we will go do right now. Let me check my event tab. Yeah, too low still. So here's a gorilla. Let's send some electricity down his way. Here's another one. Oh, as you saw, it did throw him up in the air, and also it does give us also 35% extra damage for our attacks. Although, as you saw, we can pretty much one-shot them if we want. So 35% doesn't really matter. Although it would have helped in this case. So ideally, you want to keep that 35% going. There's no real reason why not to. We're still missing a few. Well, that's okay. There's plenty. Those gorillas spawn pretty quick, so we'll do fine. So we still need to retrieve 3 maps from the scouts. We need 2 more. Okay, we seem to be done. So we're going to complete this mission, and then we got a brand new pair of gloves that we can equip. That's the collection we gathered earlier, so let's collect that. Oh, our ring. We hadn't equipped our ring. And some brand new gloves. So sadly, our old gloves are old and obsolete, unlike Arnold.
You should know that people everywhere can use your help. Usually you'll find them near crisis spots in the city. Here's one. See if you can lend a hand?
So you can see how it's pretty cool to just fly around. So that is one of the nice things about this universe online. Flying around is very sweet. And now we're going to fight a lot of gorillas. So hang on to your bus, as the other guy said. We have to destroy them red barrels and those machines here. And we still have our friend here. And as you can see, as always, there's always plenty of different mission objectives. in a certain in any given areas. So for quite a while, you will find plenty of things to do in this universe. As you level up your character, there's more than enough missions to keep you busy at least for a while. This universe is pretty much two games wrapped up in one. You have the first game where you're taking your character up to level 30, in which you'll essentially never do the same mission twice unless you really want to. So you always have new missions that you never technically never did before. And then once you reach level 30, then it becomes a bit of a grind, where you have to repeat the same missions over and over and over, especially in the end game content. Once you reach the end game, you're going to be repeating the same missions a lot. Oh, and we gained a new level. So what else do we need? We need gorilla lieutenants. So here's one. Oh, let's defeat that soldier because why not? And if you ever do this mission and there's this that tiny smell of bananas in the air, it's usually quite simple. Gorilla farts, of course. Yeah, it's a silly joke, I know. Okay, so let's go. We have a new skill point, so we're going to add our new skill point here, I guess. Or do we? Yeah, we'll go with this here. So essentially, it's a tap hold attack with the square buttons. What does that do? Let's try it out. So we tap and we. Oh, it exploded. Let's try again. Oh, there we go. So we tap and we hold. We tap and we hold. Could almost have said that I had a monkey on my back, but I won't say it. So the next step of the mission is to try to disable those teleporters, like this one here. I could have fought the essentially when you disable the teleporters, like you have to take out the technician, and then wrong button. Oh, our friend took care of that. So usually once you disable the teleporter, somehow there's two apes that manage to make it through. We could stick around and fight them. No real point. Once the teleporter has been disabled, we did our job, so we can move on to the next one. So which is this one. And as a flying character, it's pretty simple to just fly up in the air and avoid enemies. Some would say a bit too simple, but what can you do? So we're looking for another teleporter, which is not. Oh, there's one over there. There we go. Once in the air, it's pretty easy to get out of range of those gorillas. Oh, and there's our last teleporter. So there we go. So we got a mark of victory. We got a soda or soda. So again, we click on the soda, it equips itself, and we're ready to move on to the next part of the quest, guerrilla warfare.
Grodd's usual trick is mind control, so I'm
So we
betting
completed
that's
10
one of his
missions,
revolvers. Grodd.
and now there's the next step in the
We need to help those evolved citizens.
chain in the quest chain.
Thermal rays clustered on
I
the
knew I
edges
would be able to say it at some point.
reinforces devolution devices. Take those out,
So we go slowly but surely.
devolution effect. Flash is going
Oh yeah,
quiet.
let's check.
This should be over soon.
Oh, wrong one. Okay. Essentially, I got a message earlier when I did level up my character to level 5. It said that now I had access to Legends PvP. So I'll show you the Batman character that I got. In a bit, I should get an email telling me that I've got the Robin character unlocked. So that's going to be a bit later. And there's usually a free legend character of the day. So today, the free character is Steel. So if you want to try him out to decide whether you want to buy him or not, well, now's the time. And here's the modern Batman. That's the legend character that I got for free. Well, for free. That's included in your legendary subscription, technically. So, and there's a Batman here. Oh, there's another Batman here. And there's another Batman here. This is probably my favorite, the classic one with the yellow oval. I wish we had that emblem in the game, but sadly we don't. So I cry, and I cry every night, thinking of the Batman emblem we will never have in this universe. But what can you do? They decided not to give us the emblems, so we don't have the emblems. Oh, what? Oh yeah, okay. I almost forgot. Essentially, I was about to, in order to show you the characters, it's like when you start to try to cure for the mission. And since I don't really plan to cure, I'm gonna leave the cure. And as you can see, I got mail, so I will go get my mail. Why wait when I can go right away? So let's get our mail. If you click too quickly on accept, essentially you get an error message. So if that happens, don't worry, it's normal, happens all the time. It's when you try to click too quickly. So we got a nice new pair of boots, so let's equip that, and we completed the 10 styles. Whoopee! So that's the Robin exobyte data. So let's consume that. So we've unlocked a Robin for Legends PvP. Let's come to sell. Ooh, a soulmate, and she was pretty too. So you start by selling. You sell all your junk, and then you repair. Why not do that the other way around? because I would have repaired the gloves and the boots that I ended up just selling just now. So it's not much. You don't save like $1 billion, but it's a good habit to take to sell first and then to repair. In the long run, you'll save a couple of pennies, I guess. So I showed you. Oh, let's go take well, this little friend here who's handing out a mission. So let's talk to him. Yes, Officer Vega, we will help you. And now that we're flying, we can go anywhere we want, like here. Oh, not yet. So again, I showed you the legend characters. Like if I go on duty again, let's say the Batcave. So now you see we've unlocked Robin, and we still have our friend Steel, that is the free legend of the day, and we have our friend Batman over here. So, and once you purchase a legend character on the marketplace, essentially what happens is that with every character you own, every character you created in the same account, of course, you can go to redeem claim, and you can get either like there's items I bought in the marketplace. Let's take some of those. The Superman hoodie. Essentially, like I bought the Arkham Asylum Joker, Vanguard of Heavens, which is a skin. The future Batman. So let's take that. The future Harley. I bought a sweet little workstation. And then I have a bunch of styles, which I won't take all of them, although I may have to. Let's see, Exobyte Superman, as I feared. Essentially, it's I seem to have way too many items in my that I need to redeem. So the problem is that if I try to scroll down and redeem only one item, the interface goes crazy and wants to destroy the world. So I have a little choice but to consume all of those ASAP in order to be able to gain access to the things I want. So as you saw, I already have steel. I have all the rodents, Sinestro. Oh. So I have those layers, but I don't have a layer yet. So hopefully, luckily, I cannot select those. In the past, you could select them multiple times. So there are times when I would end up with a character with like 12 tech layer because I pressed the button 11 times too many. So essentially the amenities, I will leave them there for now. Let's take the Slim Aura. And sadly, the interface froze. So as you saw, if I don't take out everything, the interface doesn't really want to cooperate. So I'll have more Legends character to use, and a few more styles. Let's equip this. Essentially, I'll use my workstation until I find a better trinket. So you have to consume all of those. And there we go. So again, now this time, if I go to the Legend PvP, You'll see that I have a lot more characters now. Of course, I don't have the original Batman. No one has it. Well, only those who bought the collector's edition have it, or I think you had to pre-order the collector's edition. So I thought I had more than that, though. Oh well. So essentially, like you'll see, I have future Harley Quinn, future Batman, Lex Luthor, Zod, Superman, of course, our friend Steel, which is the free legend of the day, Sinestro, Hal Jordan, Wonder Woman, Cersei, and of course, modern Batman. I don't think I will get New 52 Batman. I pretty much hate that design. And I'm not too crazy about the Dark Knight one either. It's not bad. It just the emblem bothers me somehow. But this one I'll probably buy as soon as I can. I love this one. So essentially, it's I like having multiple legend characters. That way, I can use different characters for a change of pace. I'm not stuck using always the same one. And I pretty much hated using Robin. So because Robin is the first one everyone was getting for free, and holy crap did I hate him. So as soon as I was able to, I bought the future Batman, and that's the one I used for quite a bit until I started buying more legend characters. So we're going to stop now. So next time we'll keep on doing missions in Metropolis, and I guess I'll see you then. Bye bye.